William Macy playing Jack Buck was my favorite part.
I'm Sari Cohen with Awards Buzz. We're here tonight in St. Louis at Powell Hall celebrating the premiere of Soul on Fire starring William H. Macy and John Corbett. It's out in theaters October 10th. Let's check it out.
I love telling inspirational stories, and when I got sent Soul on Fire, I was reading it, I was laughing, I was crying. I went, this is a great, great movie if we can get it made. And then I look for films that have miracles, and this movie is just nonstop miracles. When we started, we were going to shoot it up in Vancouver, and then I came out here, I met John O'Leary. John showed me the arch, he showed me his home, he showed me all of the places here, and I went, we have to shoot it here. We have to find a way. And right when St. Louis had passed their tax incentives, that opened the doors for us to come here. And I think it's a great place for the whole country to want to come here, because it's right in the middle of the country. You can fly in a couple of hours. And the crew was incredible. And again, just telling stories that are inspirational is everything.
This movie is just such an inspiring, it's just so inspiring. I remember when I was filming, I was just, every day, I just was inspired just by John's kindness, just how he holds himself and who he is today.
It's a really inspiring role, and I love portraying John O'Leary because he's a great person. And being him when he was 9 years old was a really great opportunity for me.
I actually learned about John's story 15 years ago because my husband heard him speak at his company, and he came home with a DVD and Susan O'Leary and Denny O'Leary's book. And that's how I learned about John. So I've learned about his story a long time ago, and then I read his book, I listened to his podcast, and I was a guest on his podcast 3 years ago. And he said to me, one day at the end, one day we're going to make a movie out of my book, and I will call you. And I was like, yeah, right. Everybody says that, but nobody does that. But sure enough, he did. And when he asked me if I wanted to play his mom, Susan O'Leary, I think I cried because she's such a force of nature. She's fierce, she's loving, she's has faith. I can't wait to hug her tonight. And so it's really an honor to be in this movie.
I was so excited to play this character because I feel like Beth is the embodiment of what true love is. And I think there's a lot of rom-coms out there, and I love a good rom-com, but there are very few stories that tell the raw, the not pretty side of what it means to choose someone and to step into the dark spaces with someone. And I think that is what true love is, and Beth embodies that. She's like, no matter your scars, no matter your insecurities, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. And I just think, when I read the script, I was like, this is what love is, and if we did more of this in the world, it would actually set the world on fire in the best way.
I identified with, a lot of the things that I've been doing over the years. I started preaching when I was 15. And part of that ability or gift, I guess you could say, is about reaching people and really tapping in to where someone is. And so me, as a producer, even though I produce all the time, that idea of, well, what do people need is what I tapped into for Nurse Roy. It's like really being able to tap into, well, what did John O'Leary need in that moment as a kid? What type of reassurance did he need? But also, what kind of guidance did he need? Because when you're burned, 100% of your body, it's very painful to move at all. And I had to put him through pain so that he could ultimately get to a place where he could heal.
William Macy is incredible. He's a legend in the game, honestly. I find that if William is talking, I'm listening. I just want to glean as much thought, wisdom, any tidbits, any tips he ever unintentionally drops. I just want to listen because he's that good. I respect him a ton. He elevates this film. He elevated the cast. He elevated the crew. And John Corbett is exactly the same. On top of, he's funnier than Will Macy. He's much funnier. Bill's funny, but there's no one as funny as John Corbett. That guy had me in stitches between takes, between setups on weekends. We were staying at the same hotel. We would both be downstairs getting dinner randomly at times, and that guy just had me laughing. incredible, and it was such an honor to get to play father-son with him. He's awesome, and he's standing right there, which is so cool.
Well, you can only play one scene at a time when you're making the movie, so once that scene's finished, you just have to move on to the next one. You don't really think about the last one. I don't.
I did not get to meet Jack Buck, but ever since we've done this film, the stories keep coming out about what a kind man he was. And sort of on the sly, secretively, he did all of this stuff, touched so many people's lives. He was so generous.